Hello and welcome to Goonies World. I am Goonie, also known as Colin, and I am joined by Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
And our GM for this series, Meanie, also known as Ryan.
Hello, hello, hello.
Gee, what are we playing tonight, Ryan?
Yeah, well, we are going to jump into a cute little game called Quest that I picked up fairly recently. It's a pretty good-sized book, couple hundred pages, but pretty simple rules. It seemed like a pretty appropriate type of game for this show. And goddamn, the art is just adorable. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great.
My kids kind of are eyeing D&D books and stuff, like at the bookstores and stuff. And Oliver was kind of like, "Oh, hey, can I get this player's handbook?" And I'm like, "Well, I got one at home, buddy. I'll bring it down next time I come if you want to, look at it." And so I did, and he did look at it. But he was kind of like, "Man, that's a lot of words." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And a lot of rules, and I think something like this might be a little more appropriate for that sort of age group. So, what I intend to run for this series is going to be a sort of test run of an adventure that I would potentially run for them. And so it's really more of, it's kind of introductory, sort of new player. It sort of presumes that you're kind of relatively new to gaming and stuff, but we're old school, and but I'm sure regardless of how many years of experience we might have, I think it should be just fine.
Yeah, in fact, I downloaded this book and got mine for free, the digital version, because I'm an educator. Not to give them too much of a commercial, but go to adventure.game. If you're an educator, you can get your free PDF version at any rate. And I do like how the game kind of breaks the whole idea of role-playing game, takes it back down to brass tacks, kind of reinvents it from the ground up. A lot of the advice that we might take for granted or think we're too smart or too advanced for, it sort of re-explains, from a basic standpoint, which I really like. I mean,
even down to roll a die and look at the number on the top of the die, But, you got to cover the basics.
Yeah, we got to start somewhere. I remember, when I would read books, even after I learned how to play and stuff, and I would always read and to see how they explained that part of it, like the rolling of the dice and this guy explains he's the game master and he explains how what the world is and controls all these other players and non-player characters and stuff. But anyway, our characters are kind of disparate in age and experience to some degree. We have kind of a younger guy and kind of an older guy, as I recall from looking over your character sheets. So, Colin, why don't you tell us who you are and describe yourself a bit?
Okay, so I guess I will just read directly from my character sheet.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing. They have kind of a cute, almost Mad Lib style of putting your character together.
Yep, I think that's perfectly appropriate.
And I'll read it in character. Hello, my name is Sir Han Duran. I'm 55 years old and stand 6'2" tall. I'm the party's Invoker, which I think is kind of like a paladin or a battle mage or something. When people see me, they first notice my worn scars, burning eyes, and flawless poise. I wear nicked chainmail, a symbol of God, and move with a confident step. I am from a place I can't name, where my people are known for once ruling a vast empire. I believe in salvation, but my wrathful side can get in my way. I dream of killing my past. I carry a sword, crossbow, bolts, and a magic flask filled with wine.
All right, cool.
All right.
Well, hello, my name is Numinous Glaux. I'm 30 years old and I stand 5 foot 9 inches tall. I'm the party's magician. When people see me, they first notice my willowy frame, romantic eyes, and androgynous vibes. I wear a fluttering cape and an owl pin, and I move with an effortless glide. I'm from a great metropolis where my people are known for their unhurried sense of time. I believe in pragmatism, but my fearful side can get in my way. I dream of finding a corner of the world to make my own. I carry a sword, blowgun, darts, and a magic candle.
Nice. All right. And as we sort of had discussed a bit earlier, Numinous has come into the possession of a map supposedly leading to some sort of treasure, which he has persuaded Sir Han to accompany him in seeking, I believe.
That's right. With this treasure, I will be able to find a corner of the world to call my own. And I've convinced Sir Han Duran to go with me because I'd heard of his exploits and know he is very great. And I'm a bit fearful to go on my own.
So you, following this map for some while, you come to the edge of what appears to be a vast forest that stretches out as far as your eyes can see, and you don't see anything beyond it. It's like thick trees all the way to the horizon as far as you could tell, and a path kind of leads into it, and there's fog sort of spilling out from the floor of the forest and kind of dissipating in the sunlight, and this is clearly where the map wants you to go, and so you take a few steps into the forest and into the fog, which feels really cooling on your skin, and it almost tingles a little.
Ooh, tingly.
A cooling mist.
Yeah, it feels like it certainly could be touched with just a kiss of magic. And
ooh, I like that. That's going to be the name of my autobiography. Touched with a kiss of magic.
or kissed with a touch of magic. It could go either way.
Yeah, just like me. He could go either way.
Nice. So now, before you entered into this forest, it appeared that it went on for seemingly forever, but it's only a few minutes that you're following this path, and you find that you've reached apparently the other side of the forest, and in the distance you see a tall mountain with a tower situated at the top of it, sort of gleaming in the sunlight. But that was very... I mean, this is a pretty tall mountain and a pretty tall tower, and you definitely didn't see it when you entered, from when you started your way into the forest. It clearly wasn't there, and it's there now.
Does the map indicate that this should be like a very deep forest, like a huge forest, and there's no way we should have just walked a few minutes and then found a mountain?
Well, the map is a little confusing because it certainly looked like you were going to be walking for quite a ways in the forest, but the map now seems to have changed, and this looks like right where you were supposed to be.
I think this map is kissed with a touch of magic.
And I don't like it.
So there is in front of the mountain, there's what appears to be sort of a small village, and there's a path lined with blooming flowers, sort of twisting its way into this little town. And there's a small sign just at the edge of the forest that says, "This way to Treasure Town."
Treasure Town? This has got to be the place. The name's a little on the nose, though, don't you think, Han?
I don't think this is a good idea at all, as this is very concerning to me.
You mean like someone's just handing us the treasure on a silver platter?
Yeah, something a little too good to be true.
Oh, it's a good thing I brought you then. Perhaps we go down into Treasure Town and see what's what.
I suppose we have no other options.
That's right. We've come a long way. We can't turn back now.
Well, you follow the path down into the town, and there's several little houses here, and you see people doing normal town things, gardening or doing a little maintenance on their building or whatever. In the center of the town is a rather larger building, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know, you can stop and talk to people or do whatever you would like. What would you like to do here in Treasure Town?
I think we should stop this first person here.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that. Just ask the first person that we see some questions.
All right, you do the talking. I'm a little fearful of new people.
All right, well, there's a kind of older guy, probably a little older than you, Sir Han, who's kind of looks like he's planting some flowers and weeding a little garden in his yard here.
Okay. You, sir. Sir.
He looks around and sees you.
I'm right here. I'm right in front of you.
Well, hello.
Yes, hello. Is this place Treasure Town?
Well, yes, of course it is, yes.
What can you tell me about this place?
Oh, it's absolutely lovely here, isn't it? He says and looks around, beaming.
Yes, it's very lovely. Have many travelers come seeking Treasure Town, or are we the only ones?
Oh, we don't see very many travelers here in Treasure Town, he says.
I see. Why do you call it Treasure Town?
And he kind of looks at you blankly and says, "Well, I don't know. I've never really thought about it before."
Well, okay. Have you ever heard of any treasure in this town? Perhaps a rumor of a buried treasure?
I suspect if there were any treasure, it would be in the museum, he says, and points at the large building kind of situated in the center of the village.
Oh.
My friend here is looking for, I think, secret treasure, buried treasure of some kind, not just other people's belongings or ancient artifacts or stuff like that that's already been discovered and housed in a museum. Looking for something, treasure that you would... is there any X's on that map at all to indicate where...
I don't think so. I'll read. you never know since the map has shifted a bit, in the last few minutes. But I will take another look at the map and make sure that the town is on here, and I'll see if there is a big X.
The X seems to be situated on the museum that this man is referring to.
Okay.
Well, is there any claim to this treasure, I wonder? Well, this man doesn't even know about it, but I guess we will have to enter this museum to find out.
Yes, I think you're right. And just before then, I'd just like to... What I'd actually like to do is to spend 1 AP and use my Magic Eye ability, which will give me the ability to see beyond physical reality. And for the next hour, I'll be able to see a faint aura surrounding any person or object that is affected by magic, however you want to interpret that. The first thing I want to do is look at this guy and see if he's somehow affected by magic. Is he under a spell of some kind? I mean, I won't know exactly how he's affected, but I'd like to, because he seems a little weird to me. In fact, this whole place is a little weird. So I will now, for the next hour of game time, be able to see little faint auras around magical things.
Well, yeah, and everything... so everything you see seems to be surrounded by that aura. Everything here has been in some way affected by magic. And obviously you can't tell the exact nature, but... and you don't necessarily feel like this place is built from magic, but it's definitely being affected by magic in some way.
Okay. Well, listen, Han, there's something very magical about this whole place. As if you probably couldn't tell already. Not everything is as it seems here in Treasure Town. So be wary.
Perhaps this whole town is under some sort of spell by an evil wizard.
Well, I guess it could be an evil wizard. It might be a good wizard.
You are young and naive, and you will learn.
Well, maybe so. Well, maybe we should go check out this museum. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
But of course, he says, and waves and smiles, and it sounded like you were going to go ahead and heed his advice and walk in the direction of the museum. And
yeah, unless there's somebody else like standing right in our way who, looks like they might be worth talking to, like if they have a exclamation point floating over their head or something, maybe we should talk to them. But otherwise, I say, yeah, let's go to the museum.
Yeah, so, I mean, there are probably, a dozen or so other people, milling about, playing games, talking to each other and stuff, but they all have this same sort of vacant look in their eyes, and they all smile and wave as you pass as though they're very kind or programmed to be very kind or something.
Yeah, they seem very mellow.
And you notice that the entire town is just adorned with these like colorful flags and various decorations and stuff. It's all really rather nice, but maybe too nice.
Yeah.
It is if we have wandered into some sort of storybook of some kind. It's a little too nice, and it does not represent the world that I know.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think you're right.
This world that I know is dangerous, and it rarely is so colorful and happy and nice.
Well, you head in the direction of the museum as these various townspeople smile and wave as you pass. And you notice as you approach the museum that there is a woman standing in front of there's like sort of a short flight of steps leading up to a little porch, and she's standing on this porch, smiling, looking as though she was waiting for you. And indeed, as soon as she sees you, she sort of waves you over in a come here sort of gesture.
We're getting the come hither.
Madam, are we in talking distance to her?
Yes.
Madam, are you the curator for this museum?
Well, yes, you could say that, yes.
And what is this a museum of?
Well, I wouldn't want to give away all of the mysteries now, would I?
Very well. Then let us be off.
Yes, we'd love to see the interior of this museum.
Well, do come here, she says, and motions for you to come up the stairs.
You go first.
I'll start walking.
I will get behind him and walk.
We were told that this museum is the place where we might find a vast treasure.
Well, that's possibly true, yes.
And why else would this place be called Treasure Town if it does not have a treasure?
Well, there's all kinds of treasure, she says with a smile. And I should mention, she's fairly tall. She's probably about the same height as Numinous, with blonde hair, and she's wearing this sort of white tunic with a shiny golden belt and a blue bow tie, of all things. And she's got this really thick notebook she's holding in her hands, and it says directory on it. And she says, "Oh, but where are my manners? My name is Fiona Fairweather, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Mischief Mountain."
Ooh, Mischief Mountain. Well, Fiona, I'm Numinous Glaux, and this is my friend Sir Han Duran, and we've come a long way to be here. So we'll just have to see what treasure there is here on Mischief Mountain.
I've come a long way against my will. Sort of. I am not particularly interested in treasure, but I am interested in helping out my young friend here, who wishes to build a place for himself. And I have many good deeds to do while I wait for my time to end on this mortal plane, this worldly plane.
Oh, how very morbid, she says.
Hey, you should try traveling with him. He's a real downer sometimes.
Well, certainly you must be brave adventurers, she says.
Well, I'm an adventurer.
I'm somewhat of a knight-errant, you might say. I do go on adventures. And I do many righteous deeds.
Very well. Well, you have been invited, friend adventurers, to try the Trickster's test. Now, to pass the test, you must reach the top of the mountain, she says, pointing, and defeat the Trickster. Now, if you pass the test, you will win something from our incredible collection of treasures. Now, and I'm just going to keep saying now, apparently. If you want to turn back, you may leave at any time. But if you decide to play the game, there is no turning back. If you choose to play, you will be allowed to browse our collection of treasure and take one item each to help you pass the test. If you win, you get to keep the item that you just chose. But be warned, the more valuable the treasure you choose, the more challenging the test will be. Choose wisely. Of course, if you lose, I can't tell you what happens. That's all part of the game.
Well, I do like a good challenge, and I accept your offer.
Yes, I accept as well.
Very good, she says, and she reaches into her tunic and pulls out a small blue sort of gem amulet on a chain, and she reaches it out to you as though she's going to, she's handing it to you. And she says, "Now, this is a Skycaller amulet that you can use to communicate with me during the test. So, if you're getting off track or need some help, you can just ask."
Ooh, I'll carry that. That's very pretty.
Very well, and I should remind you, there are only 2 rules to this game. You may only take 1 treasure each from the museum, and once you leave town and go up the mountain, there is no turning back.
Okay.
And will we be allowed to start this challenge at any time? Let's say we want to maybe sleep overnight here in town first and then go first thing in the morning. Would that be acceptable, or do we need to start at once?
Well, I'm afraid there's no inn in Treasure Town. But if you are insisting upon resting before we begin, I suppose we could arrange something?
Oh, I disagree with my friend. Unless he has some very good reason. We've come so long, I just as soon get this contest with the Trickster over with. Do you need to sleep to power your powers or something?
What time of day is it? Is it morning, afternoon, or evening?
It was around noon when you entered the forest, but you can't really tell. This place seems to be in a eternal state of 9 a.m.
Well, I thought my feet would be weary and I would need to rest, but it seems like it is still early in the day here, so I don't believe I have anything else to do. I will take a moment to sip from my magic flask of wine. I love wine.
Very well.
Let me have a little hit off that flask.
Oh, well, now, well, only because it's magic and it never gets empty. You may sip if you can handle it. This wine.
Oh, I can. Oh, that's good. Well, Fiona, I think we're ready to look at these magical items now.
Very well, she says, and begins to turn around, and she puts her hand on the door to open it, and then stops herself and turns back around and says, "One last thing. Before you enter the museum, I'll need you to put on these hats," she said, and produces 2 fedora-looking hats from her tunic.
Absolutely not. I won't do it. I won't wear silly hats.
I don't think it's silly. I think it's a very smart hat. It looks very nice.
It's a mockery of my god. My god is known to wear a fedora.
I'm terribly sorry, Sir Han, but we have a very strict dress code in the museum.
Well, let me consult with my god then, and ask his permission. My god's name... What did I name my god?
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know.
No, my god's name, he's a little sensitive of his name because he thinks it's a girl's name. His name is Skylar. And I am the only one who worships this god. He speaks only to me. But let me privately communicate with him and ask him if I may don this fedora. I do it out of respect for him. I mean no disrespect at all.
Well, tell Skylar from me that I think his taste in headwear is excellent.
Yes, I will pass that along.
Thank you. Tell him I said hey.
Oh, guy, I've just received word that I may wear the fedora.
Did you tell him I said hey?
Yes, he said, sup.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, she hands you the hats and says, well, I think your god will be very pleased. You're free to take them off as soon as you leave the museum, she says.
All right, and, I'll put it on.
Yeah, assuming you put on the hats, she will open the door and let you into the museum. And she does not go in with you. But she does allow you in once you put the hats on. And the doors open and you walk into this museum, which is sort of like a TARDIS in the sense that it looks vastly larger on the inside than it appeared from the outside.
Yeah, I don't need to see a magic aura to know there's strong magic at work here.
Yes, indeed. And there are 3 shelves in this large room. And each contains a wide variety of items. On the first shelf, you see there's a sword and a small plush goat and sort of like what looks like a bag of dice, a whip coiled up. There's a metal gauntlet. Yeah, well, I wish this is the time. I wish we were, sitting down in person and playing, and I could just hand these cards out and say, "This is all the crap," instead of having to just individually describe what all this junk is.
Well, I can tell you right now, something in my heart tells me that whip would go great with this fedora. I would like to take a look at the whip.
All right. Well, you walk over to the first. Now, this first shelf is the lowest, and they get the second one is slightly higher, and the third one is higher still. And but you go over to the whip, which is coiled up on this shelf, and it just looks like a whip, just sort of laying here. What do you want to pick it up?
Yeah, I want to pick it up and give it a...
Careful.
Well, you pick it up, but you're unable to whip it in the way that you would have expected because it seems...
Because you're not Devo.
It's completely rigid.
I can't whip it good.
No, you can't whip it into shape either.
Oh, well, it's already in shape. Okay. So you mean when we say it's in one shape, is it like stuck in a coiled shape, or is it like a great big long pointer now?
No, it's still coiled up. It's just rigid in this coil.
Okay. Well, that's very strange. All right.
It might be that you must declare this your item.
I declare this my whip.
Oh,
I whip it.
You should have maybe pondered a bit more before you chose so hastily.
Well, as soon as you say, I whip it, because Devo knows no universes.
Right, of course.
As soon as you utter that one-liner, the whip relaxes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give it a few swings through the air to see if it has some obvious quality that is immediately apparent by just swinging it around.
No, although it does have a very clear aura of magic around it, as though it were enchanted in some way. And I'll just actually read the description to you. This is an item that does 3 damage. It's called the Quip Lasher, and it is a sentient magic whip that is always listening to what is being said nearby. In its default position, it is locked in a stiff coil, but if the whip hears a witty one-liner, it relaxes and you can use it to make an attack on a nearby creature. Once the whip strikes a creature, it becomes rigid again.
Okay, I've got to think of some witty one-liners then, and you start thinking of some too. You know, I could sit and look through all these things, but this whip is really what spoke to me, and I think I'm destined to carry it. So I will take the whip.
All right.
The quip. It's the quip what?
Quip Lasher.
Quip Lasher. I've got it.
Now I will carefully examine my choices and pick something that is a treasure to me, which might not be so powerful, but the challenge might be more accomplishable.
So, Numinous took the whip.
Quip Lasher.
The Quip Lasher. Yeah, and so in addition on that first table, there was a metal gauntlet, a glove, right? There's a candle as well, and a bow on this first table. And, of course, on the second table, there's something that looks like a bracelet. There's like a little wand. There's a couple orbs. And another sword.
No. None of these are what I'm looking for.
Well, what are you looking for?
I'll know it when I see it.
There is, on the, is it on the second or third shelf? Oh. Yes, on the second shelf there is a shield. I don't know if that would be of interest to you. It looks like a buckler.
I have no need for this shield. My God shields me from harm.
And there is a particularly nice-looking sword there next to the buckler as well.
Can't beat my sword that I've already got. I've slaughtered so many sinners. No, let's look. Something. He's kind of looking for maybe something, the... In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, or are they looking for the cup for the Holy Grail? Except for he's looking for something very humble and plain looking, sort of fancy, and something that's ordinary.
Let's see.
What was on the first shelf again? There was a gauntlet.
Yep, there was a gauntlet. There's a sword that has like an inscription on the blade. A small stuffed goat. A bag of what appear to be marbles. And a candle and a bow.
You've got to take a look at that goat.
You read my mind. I choose the goat.
All right. Well, the little plush stuffed goat, you pick it up, and you note that sort of sitting next to it is a little collar on the ground that has like a bell on it. And it appears to go with it, and it's not wearing the collar at the moment, but you get the sense that putting the collar on it may be what activates it.
Okay, come on, little fella. Here you go now. I'm going to strap on the little collar.
Well, you place the collar on this little stuffed goat, and as soon as you do, a little goat appears in the room here and bleats at you and sort of charges at you as though it were going to headbutt you, but then stops and bleats again.
Oh, that scared me.
It is all right, goat. We are your friends. You will lead us to treasure. You are under my command.
It's apparently in agreement with you.
Yes, that's what I thought. Now, shall we follow the goat?
Yes, now that we've chosen our items so wisely, I believe we should take the next step in our journey.
To treasure, goat?
Yeah, goat.
The goat says, and begins walking out of the museum.
We should give him a name. Let's call him Billy.
Well, that seems like a good name for a goat.
Yeah, it just popped into my head.
Very well. Billy?
Lead us to treasure, Billy.
So Billy begins heading out of the museum, where you guys meet Fiona on the porch once again. She says, I see you've chosen wisely. And she points towards a door that leads to a path heading up the side of the mountain and says, that's the way you want to go, I think.
Yes, I think that is the way. A good place for a goat up a mountain. I did choose wisely.
Billy's such a good boy. Anyway, following sort of Fiona's gesturing and being led by this goat, you leave Treasure Town and begin climbing a sort of winding ridge up this mountainside. And as you do so, you get rocks and pebbles tumbling down the side of the mountain and sort of crashing all around you. And the goat seems, unfazed by this, although it's a little possibly nerve-wracking, at least for, less sure-footed humans.
And fearful humans.
Indeed. And so after walking along this ridge for a while, the path curves directly into the face of the mountain and stops at this massive stone door. And the door has like this huge face in it that looks as though it were alive, although it does appear to be sleeping.
Should we wake it?
Well, you're the knight errant. There's a whole reason I brought you, because I assumed that you would know what to do in this type of a situation.
Of course I do. He's going to clear his throat really loudly, see if that wakes up the face.
And it does. And the stone eyes, the eyelids shoot open, and the door looks at you, and it says, "Whoa, be you adventurers?"
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are. We have come up this mountain in search of treasure, and you will open this door, open yourself to us.
Well, I certainly
do enjoy seeing some adventurers, but I don't particularly take kindly to rude orders.
Now look, you hurt its feelings.
We have no time for this. You are a door, and you have one job, and that is all you do is open or close, and we wish for you to open now. I'm sorry if I hurt your door feelings, but...
You don't mean it.
I'm going to use my magic trick for 0 AP, which is lovely, to delight it by giving it a gentle touch, gentle physical sensation. Like, and he's like, you don't mean it. I'll be like, oh, there, like a little stroke on the door. There, we mean it. I promise, we mean it.
Oh, well, do you really know? Okay, gosh.
Oh, shucks.
Well, I don't get to see too many adventurers around here, and when I finally did get to meet somebody, it was the same, I didn't want him to be so rude, but well, I'll tell you what, I'll open up for you, but you gotta answer my riddles.
Oh, great. I don't know if I'm very good at riddles. Go ahead, Mr. Dwarf.
What about you, old man? You like riddles?
I do like challenges of all kinds. I am curious as to what these riddles may be, and I accept your challenge.
All right.
Riddle away, riddling door.
Well, before I reveal the nature of my riddles, I think introductions might be in order. My name is Stonebrow the Door.
Stonebrow, pleasure to meet you. I'm Numinous Glaux, and this is my friend, Sir Han Duran.
All right.
And this is Billy the Goat. Maybe you know him.
Sir Han, Numinous, and Billy. Mm-hmm. Maybe some French fried potatoes. Sorry. All right. Well, hereupon I open the door once you answer these riddles 4. I like that. It rhymes. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. I wear a cap, but it's not a hat. What am I?
A mushroom!
Incorrect.
Oh.
What about you, Sir Han?
I don't know why this door's from Texas.
Well, many things wear caps that aren't hats. And I say a mushroom was a great answer and should qualify as correct. But if you don't like that, maybe you accept, well, yeah, they probably don't have pins, like pin caps. Like, you cap for a writing pen, they don't have those here.
Let me see. If it's not a mushroom, something that wears a cap. A cap.
You're thinking in the right direction there, Numinous.
Yeah, it's a mushroom. What else has a cap? What's something in the vicinity of a mushroom? Han, think hard. A cap.
Vicinity of a mushroom.
Well, like he said, we're going in the right direction, so maybe it's like a fungus or something else that grows.
Well, no, I just meant, laterally thinking like that.
Oh, I see.
Not literally.
What's another word that begins with M? How about that?
Oh, okay. That's a good hint. I don't want to have to use up our hints, calling Fiona. I don't want to use up all my calls yet. So, a cap. I mean, something that starts with M. It has a cap. Mushroom, maggot, mammoth, motor. Not one of those. Memory, milk, moon. Is it a bottle of milk with a little cap on it?
Well, that's a pretty good guess, too, but that is not the correct answer.
That is correct. That is the correct answer.
Well, you're going to have to be a lot nicer to me, Sir Han. I can't take this.
Yeah, he's giving us a hint and everything. We know it starts with M. And we got 3 more after this one, so we need to think hard. What is a cap? What's a cap that starts with something that wears a cap? He wears a cap, but it's not a hat. So, and he's not a mushroom.
Billy, ram the door. Open it up.
Wait.
Oh, please don't do that now. That wouldn't be nice at all. Come on, Billy.
I hate to do this on the first riddle, but maybe we should ask Fiona for help. You know, we can use the amulet to ask for her advice.
Yeah, how does that amulet work?
I
don't know any fancy.
It's easy. I think you just talk into it. Fiona.
Is that you, Numinous?
Yeah, we have a real problem. We have to answer 4 riddles, and we don't know the first one.
The door that's asking these riddles cheated. We've answered several correctly already.
Well, I mean, maybe according to our logic, but you don't know the logic of magic doors. So, Fiona, can you think of something that wears a cap but is not a hat, and the thing starts with the letter M?
Oh. Yes. I think I can.
Oh, could you tell us what it is?
Out with it.
Well, I'll give you a hint.
What's the hint?
You're standing on one.
Ah, I knew it. I knew it the whole time. Thought he would have said it was wrong. But it is a mountain.
Oh, yeah, mountain. Okay. Well, how many times do we get to contact you, Fiona?
There's no limit to your phone a friend.
Oh, good. I thought there was a limit to it. I don't know why. Okay. Well,
this isn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Okay. It kind of is, though, because we want a treasure. So, okay, I'll call you back if we need you. All right. I can't believe I didn't get a mountain, like a mountain cap. Okay.
Mountain. Hey. That's right. Good job, adventurers. All right, now here's the second one. I'm taller than a tower, but older than any building. What am I?
A mountain.
That's right.
All
now
right.
for number 3. I can be climbed, but I'm not a ladder.
A
What
mountain.
That's right.
Oh.
I can rock, but I can't roll. What am I?
Oh, mountain.
You got 'em all, boys. That's how I like to see it done.
Says the door, which then proceeds to slowly open.
Take your time.
Well, no, I'm happy because I thought we were going to spend the next 22 minutes trying to guess riddles and not be smart enough. So this is wonderful.
Well, we will not be spending any more time guessing riddles because you have solved all of the riddles of Stonebrow, the sentient door, and he opens, allowing you to proceed. However, slightly early, but this is exactly where I wanted to stop anyway, so I think we're gonna call that episode number 1, and we shall see what lies beyond the door in episode number 2.
Yes, and before we go, I did read in the rules that after we complete a session, we do get 5 points, adventure points, I think they're called. And we also get to pick another ability. One more ability for next time.
Yeah, and I mean, typically I would... a session might be an entire series, technically,
Yeah.
but I don't have a problem with going ahead and letting you guys do that. I don't think you can't get more action points than max anyway, can you?
Probably not more than what you started with, I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't spent any, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right that, 3 episodes for us is about like a normal game length, you know.
Right, like a game night game.
Right,
game.
but no, I'll take a new ability if I can get one, and I will look that up later. And for now, know that my APs are refreshed, and I got to think of some one-liners for next time so I can use this Quiplasher.
Yeah. All of the little magic items that they have there are kind of quirky and in their own ways, so.
Like, I tried to buy a camouflage cloak, but I couldn't find one. See, that'd be a good one. Yeah. Well, my wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I used to have a handle on life, but then it broke.
Well, you're starting to get into Bing Kingsley territory almost.
I know, I'm getting into Bing Kingsley territory. Bing Kingsley goes into all universes. This entire thing is just Bing Kingsley on an ether binge dream. So,
Nice. All right, well, gentlemen, I will see you in episode number 2.
Hey everybody, if you like our podcast, don't forget to leave us a good rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or wherever you're able. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Goonies_world, and check out our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.